This is Scott the Fix-It Guy with a dryer that won't spin. Usually this is due to a broken belt. In this case, I think the belt has just slipped off of the motor pulley. So when I turn it, I can feel just a little bit of resistance, but not the same like as if the motor was connected by the belt. So I'm going to remove this front panel by removing 2 Phillips head screws. Got it unplugged first. You can also turn off the breaker. And now I want to remove these other screws here that are holding on this silver panel. I think there's 4 or 5 of them that we have to remove. These are also Phillips head. This will let me to get a chance to look in to see what's going on with the belt that's going up to the dryer. This is a stacked type of washer-dryer combination. But if we can remove this panel, we'll have access to the belt. And as I look in there, I can see the belt still there, but it's just loose. It's fallen off of the motor pulley and the idler wheel. And to get to both of them, what I'd like to do is remove this control panel. So I'm going to take out 2 Phillips head screws, and then I'll use maybe a standard head screwdriver to help me kind of pry loose the control panel. And then once I've got that control panel out of the way, I can reach in with my right hand in this big open space, and my left hand can go in through this little space, and that's going to let me grab the idler pulley, which has spring tension, and pull it to the side. And that'll let me get the belt over the idler pulley, and then I can pull it over the smaller little pulley that's the motor pulley. And then I've got it all hooked up. I've got, when the motor turns, I've got it to where the belt will turn the tumbler, and we're all set. Not quite sure why the belt slipped off. Could be that they had maybe a really heavy load in, and the whole tumbler tilted a bit to one side. So I'm just putting the control panel back on, and then I'll put in the 2 Phillips head screws. And then I want to put on the big silver panel here, and that again has some 4 or 5 silver Phillips head screws. So I got it plugged in. I'm going to give it a little test, and I can hear it spinning. Yeah, and the belt's still connected, and it's turning the tumbler, so we're all set. And I'll go ahead and button this up by finishing to put on the silver panel. I think sometimes belts over time can get a little more stretched out, and they're more apt to slip off. But usually what I've seen is where people put in something really heavy like a wet blanket, and the whole tumbler tilts a little bit to an oblique angle, and then the belt just kind of slips off. Just getting those last screws in. And then the final part is we just put the white panel back up into position and put a couple of Phillips head screws in. It's a pretty fast, simple job because you're not having to replace the belt. You're just putting it back onto the motor pulley. go. Give it a little test. There you go. Perfect. Spinning as good as new. So I hope this has been helpful to you and you'll get your dryer spinning back to normal. Thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe when you get a chance. Thank you.